So, all right, well, I think I'm not sure I would call this a teaching, just like last time. I do want to honor the ladies. I have something to share about mothers, and I'm going to close out the message with praying blessings over the ladies here. I have 7 days worth of blessings. I'm going to pray them all today for you ladies that are here, because some of you aren't on the internet and you're not on social media, so you might not check those, but I want to pray for you. But otherwise, I'm going to post today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through Saturday, just a special 7 days of remembering these ladies in our lives that mean so much to us.
Amen.
You know, you don't get treated as well as you should.
Amen.
You know, so we want to honor you. I have a little story I want to read. And you may not have heard this version of the story, but I'm sure as I read it, you're going to go, oh, you know, that kind of sounds like a story I know. It's called The Mystery of Love. A young man who was tired of the monotony and the restrictions of home. How many of you guys remember growing up? I don't know where it hits, usually just around those early teens. I think it's for all teenagers, but guys in general. See, there it goes. I don't know what that bell is. But we go through this phase where we want to be free, right? We don't want to be restricted by rules. You know, we think we've learned everything we could have from our parents. There's that phase for guys where dad goes from being hero to less intelligent to even less intelligent to not knowing anything. And then you go up on the side, you're like, he's smarter than I thought.
Amen.
Maybe I'm not as smart as I thought I was.
Amen.
You know, right? It's the thing. We go through this with parents. So this young man, he's ready. I gotta leave. I wanna be free. So funny, isn't it? How often some of our soulish ideas of freedom actually bring us to a place of bondage. We set out in life thinking, I'm free, and we don't realize it. Just like Jacob Marley in the Christmas Carol, right? We forge the chains that hold us. So he wandered and free, and then he got fed up with that. And he realized it was not what he dreamed it would be. Anybody gone through that? You thought you had a great idea, you kick off on your own, and it doesn't turn out the way you thought. And he decided to write to his mother and tell her that he was going to take the train back home. And he told her that if she still wanted him, she could hang a white handkerchief on the top of the tree in their yard, which could easily be seen before the train stopped at the little hometown station as a sign. How amazed the wandering young man was when he found that his mother had used every available handkerchief to hang on the various branches of the tree. He could not understand how his mother could continue to love him. It was a mystery to him that his mother's love had increased instead of diminished in his absence. You know, the story sounds a little bit like the prodigal son story. I'll date myself. It reminds me of a song, right? Tie a yellow ribbon round that old oak tree. It's been 3 long years. Do you still want me? I don't see a yellow ribbon on that old oak tree. I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. That's one of the smartest things you can do most of the time. If I don't see a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. This mother's love had increased instead of diminished. That's how it works. That's how special a mom's love is. You think that, you know, when you come to that awareness that you've really messed up, that you've been a jerk, you know, you've been thinking about yourself and not about other people, certainly not about her, and you're thinking, man, I've probably done some things to cause my mom not to love me, and then you find out that she loves you more. I've shared this story in church many times. I'm going to repeat it. We had 5 children growing up, and one time someone asked Mary Beth, well, we got 5 kids, so which one do you love the most? And my wife looked at them and said, the one who's hurting, the one who's sick, the one who's lost, the one who's going through a trial. That's how our mothers love us. Right? They carry us 9 months in their actual body, and then they carry us in their hearts for the rest of their lives. They're special people. I make a point, I talk to my mother at least once a week. I've raised my kids, and I tell them all the time as they're growing up and getting ready to, to want to wander and be free. I'm like, I don't care if, what's going on in your life, you call your mom. You always call your mom. I appreciate a phone call every once in a while. I'm not saying I don't want it, but I've raised my kids to say, you know what, you always call your mom. This little story, tells us how a mom's love increased instead of diminishing. It's really a story about the love of God. Remember the father in the story of the parable? He never stopped watching. His heart cry was that the son would come home. There wasn't this root of bitterness that was taking root that would separate. In the Father's heart, in God's heart, when we're out there doing our own thing, making bad decisions, His love is, in a sense, kind of increasing. You're the hurting, you're the sick, you're the one that He's concerned about. I want to tell you, of all the things that God created in the world, right? He said He created man and said this was really good. Of all the things that He created, of all the things that He takes care of, every nanosecond, He loves us the most, right? A mom loves us a lot like God does.